Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you an amazing book I read. There's so many books out there. There's like a bajillion, and sometimes it's hard to know like which ones are like worth the read. And also, even if we know that it's a good book, how do we have time for that? And so I wanted to share one of the books that's made a really big impact on my life, and it's Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book has been so influential because it talks about the importance of being 1% better every day. And 1% is something so small, it's absolutely doable. And so he talks about how if you improve 1% every day for 365 days, you'll be almost 37 times better than you were at the beginning of the journey. And so whether you want to improve in like learning a language or learning how to play a musical instrument, or like being that much farther in your degree if you're working on a master's or the undergrad, how important is it to just focus on the trajectory that you're going on versus looking at it like, oh, I'm not there yet, even though I started last week. So things take time, but to not lose hope. Like I found it really motivational. And he shares how for over 100 years, the British cycling team did not do very well. They were just like an average team, like mediocre, is how you put it. And they hired in the early 2000s a guy to coach the team in how to improve. And he believed in this theory called the principle of, the aggregation of marginal gains. And so the aggregation of marginal gains is basically looking at various aspects of how you do things and to focus on how to improve just even by the tiniest bit in each area. So for example, this new coach decided to make sure that every team member had a comfy pillow at night to sleep on. I mean, who would think of that? Like, that seems so small. Like, is that even worth it, right? And then they also looked at hand washing. Like, we don't even think about it. Like, we wash hands really fast in 5 seconds and then we're out the door, right? Well, they brought in a surgeon to teach the team how to properly and correctly, right, wash their hands so that they'll be less likely to catch colds. They also had them like ride through like this wind tunnel and test out the most like aerodynamic outfits to make sure that they could ride the best lightweight, thing that there was. And it was so fascinating. I'm like, oh my gosh, some things I would not have thought of at all. But all of these things together added up to within a 5-year time period, going from mediocre to winning about 60% of the Olympic gold medals for cycling in the 2008 Beijing Olympics. And 5 years is such a short time. Like, it was really inspirational. It was really motivational. I really liked that. He also shared a story about, it wasn't really a story, it's more like a 2-paragraph commentary, but like how if you have like, say, 2 people that are both trying to quit smoking, one person might say, oh, and if they're offered a cigarette, like, oh, I'm trying to quit, no, thank you. And then you have the other person who'll say, no, I'm not a smoker, thank you. So the difference is that one person still believes that they're a smoker, and the other person has already shifted that mindset to say, I am not a smoker, even though they may be like trying to quit. So they've changed their identity, like in the way that they use their language. One person may say, I'm a smoker. One person may say, I am not a smoker. But they both could be in the same exact spot of trying to quit. So what matters is, I guess, how you view yourself, your mindset. And really, like, what's interesting is, at the beginning of the year, most everyone makes New Year's resolutions, like the goals to change, to just be better, right? and we look for the outcome, right? Like we all want to be 500 pounds thinner and go to the gym every day, right? Sometimes that doesn't really work out. But what we really need to look at and what brings that lasting change is changing your identity, like the belief in who you are. So, you know, someone might say like, okay, my goal is to paint 3 paintings next year. And that may or may not work out. But if you like say, I am an artist, like I believe that I have the ability to like create this work, then like you're more likely to like achieve, if you already believe that you have the capability of doing something. And obviously like you need to be specific and saying like, I'm going to paint 3 paintings, I'm going to paint 5. But if you don't believe you're an artist or a painter, right, and you set that goal, it'll be harder to achieve it just because you don't believe that about yourself already. And so mindset is a key component. I know a lot of people talk about mindset. But if someone doesn't believe they can achieve it, then they're like not going to be able to achieve it. Like they have to believe that it's possible first before they actually achieve it. So it just like really made me think about, what do I believe about myself and what things do I want to achieve? And I feel like this is like one of those books that was like game changer, life altering. Because like, honestly, we can each be 1% better every day. And so how do you implement that on like an everyday level to the average American? Okay, so like, let's say we're all sitting at the table eating dinner. Your 1% better could be like, as soon as you're done eating, putting your plate, your bowl, your silverware, right, away in the sink, rather than leaving on the table and then going to watch like a show on Netflix or something. So like being able to do that one thing of just walking it to the sink when the dishes are done rather than leaving them on the table is like, it's probably greater than 1%. That's probably like 5% better, because dirty dishes clutter up the table like crazy. It only takes a few to make the table feel like it's like not usable. So like I feel like that's a book worth reading. We got like the digital version to listen, or audible version to listen to it while we read along with it in the book. So you don't have to get like the hard copy book, but you can. I mean, get it at the public library if you want the hard copy. Some people like just like reading books where you can like turn the pages, and I really do like that. But sometimes it's so hard to like read a book because you have bills to pay, you've got to take care of kiddos. There's not a lot of time. And so being a mom of 3 kids, it's hard to find time. Like even if your desire is there to read, it's hard to find time to actually do it. So one suggestion is Audible. No, I'm not sponsored. I just started on YouTube. Like I'm not going to have sponsors, right? Not this early in the journey. But I will say like I genuinely use Audible. And so if you want to, if you have a desire to read books and you're having a hard time finding time to do that, then Audible is something to try. Basically you can like be folding, sitting on your fanny, sitting on the couch, right? Like folding clothes, listening to a book on Audible. And they have like everything on there, really, like everything. So you can get Atomic Habits by James Clear and be folding clothes. And so you're like multitasking, but like it's not like multitasking where you're like getting nothing done because you're multitasking. Like you can, like your arms still work as you're folding clothes while you're listening to a book. Like, so that multitasking like works. But I would totally try that. So then you're like getting stuff done around the house, but you're like also like just, you're mentally stimulated because you're like learning stuff. And that's like key and essential to like becoming just more knowledgeable about things. And it's just good overall. It's good for like mental health to be learning all the time. So I would suggest that book. It's, how many pages was it? I don't even know. I'm gonna look it up really fast because I did not look at that beforehand. It is 260 264 pages. 264 pages. So, like, bust it out in like a week or two, really. I mean, like, no hurry, no pressure. 1% better, right? Like, you can't eat an elephant, as they say, right? The famous saying, can't eat an elephant all at once. You take it in like one bite at a time. So just do like a chapter. And actually, we read this book last year, so 2021, from like January to April, I think, and we just like divvied it out by like chapter or something. Or was it like 4 chapters at a time? I can't remember. No, it was like 1 chapter at a time. And so like my husband, all his siblings, and my in-laws, we like all read the book together. And so we'd have like these Zoom meetups after, actually, yeah, I think it was every chapter, because after every chapter we'd like do our video call and just like share something that we learned. And so it's a really cool family activity to do, like extended family activity, because then like we're all learning and gaining some knowledge and getting inspired to be better. So think of something, this is my challenge to you, think of something that you want to improve on. So let's say you want to gain the talent of speaking a foreign language. Like maybe your 1% better is downloading the Duolingo, which is a really great software, the Duolingo app. And then day 2, it might be to learn like, I don't know if is it 10 points or 10 words, or they have like mini chapters in there. I like started doing the French one because I want to learn French. I know Spanish and I want to learn French. And then I could say I'm trilingual. Okay, that's probably just really prideful. Okay, but I would love to go to France one day, and I really like to be able to know what I'm saying. So it's on the bucket list, right? But like if you want to learn a foreign language, then do just very incremental steps to learning that thing. So you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. Like 1% better, 1%, you can definitely do it. So thanks for tuning in today to my channel. Hopefully you were able to learn something or be inspired. And if you were inspired, like it. Like that little video. But good luck in your journey. You can do it. And don't let anyone ever like discourage you. Like you are in control of your life. You have the potential to master anything you want to. I mean, there's so many things on this planet you could do. Like whether it's like being more like sporty, whether it's like working out every day. I mean, it takes time to like make it a habit, but once it's like instilled in you, just keep going and you keep on improving. So best of luck in your journey, and we'll see you soon. Bye.